Fog Entertainment back again with another movie review, and we're looking at The Conjuring, the first one, 2013. And you're not allowed to say this person's name or they're going to haunt you. Spooky, dooky, quacky, quacky, quack. But anyway, we are, of course, we had just reviewed the second one on the channel, so we're here with the first one. Of course, it's directed by James Wan, and again, it's just a very similar, sort of movie. I mean, yeah, it is obviously the first one. It's going to be similar to the second one, but at the end of the day, right? I think these movies are just a copy paste sort of thing, personally. But is this done well? I like it, and I like the fact that the original Lorraine Warren was actually in this movie to a degree. She was, like, the one in real life was actually in the front row of one of Lorraine and Ed's within the movie, like the wee shows basically explaining it. And basically we get the prologue of the movie showing Annabelle, the possessed doll. I believe there's been a bunch of movies of this released. Well, there has been. Apparently they've made 3 of it. I don't know how, but again, I've always questioned the fact that, like, they've got this room in their house that is essentially, got all these possessed things. I know Ed tries to parrot off as, oh man, a priest comes every month to bless it. Is it really going to work like that though? I'm not really 100% sure. But basically, this plot, 1971, they move into this house. This family called Roger and Carolyn with their kids, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April. And for the first few nights, the clock stops at 3:07. We later find out that's because the time when one of the ghosts within the house killed, was it their daughter? There's a few ghosts because it's all on this land that was owned by the same person where a few killings have happened. But, it did 319 million worldwide, despite the fact it had a £20 million budget, which is a really good success rate. But of course, this family, they had a dog. And I like dogs, right? So, I didn't like this. They've killed a dog. Big Stevie does not like the fact that they've killed a dog. Sadie, I believe it must have just died via, it was a broken neck. I don't know if it was pulling on its own, chain or whatever, but we did see throughout the movie, birds that were flying nearby just smashing into the ground and, getting killed and shit like that, because obviously animals react weird around, weird beings and stuff like that, so spiritual beings, so I don't know, but yeah, I don't like when dogs die, at the end of the day. But we get these people, Ed and big woman, what's her name? Lorraine. So they're called in, you got to look at this house. And I like this. So we get a wee look into them showing up. And of course, I've seen the second one. I shouldn't really watch it out of order, but I did, guys. And they're basically putting 2 to 2 together. But Lorraine, put together that the spirit is leaked on. It's holding on to this family, and they basically explain that they won't be able to move house because guess what, guys? Guess what? It will follow you. But, what? I get the logic, but, say you lived in the middle of Times Square in New York. Is that truly going to work? I don't really know, but essentially after, a few cases of them getting dragged up walls, the kids being chased, blah, 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 people being scratched, the demon itself, the witch, actually possesses Caroline, which... This bit is a bit stupid to me because, you have Lorraine pointing out the fact that she will eventually, take control of one of yous and kill the child like the person did at the same house in 1863. But again with this, it's if you're calling this and you're predicting this and you actually saw the thing at the window looking out at you, and then when you ran up, Caroline was clearly acting different. I don't understand why she didn't really call that out when she's seen it, or, and even, from that point on, you can clearly tell that Caroline is acting differently. So again, it just seems very stupid. But the Perron family is took to a motel on the outskirts, but during all this, fucking Caroline kidnaps a few of her daughters. Christine and April takes them back to the house, of course, and then when they get back to the house, we basically get Ed doing an exorcism because the Vatican wouldn't accept it in time, and you had to be members of the church in order to get this done. And then he does the whole exorcism shite, so to speak, which again, it's kind of just a copy. I mean, I guess you kind of have to do all the same shit, like, in this regard. But yeah, it's basically a haunted music box that stemmed from all this that was in the house, and of course they take items from each wee thing. But they managed to free Caroline of the demon's grasp. But you know, like, I feel like the second one, there was a clear point when the demon disappeared. But in this one, it's like, well, when was it when she dropped her from the roof on her head, or when the mother saw daylight and like all the marks got removed from her, even though by that point she kind of already had it removed. Anyway, I don't know. Thought it was a wee bit mental, but I kind of preferred the second one. But I feel like if I watched the first one before the second one, which I mean most people would do, it would have been probably better. But again, it does what it says in the tin. It's kind of just generic, but you know what? It is scary in points. But again, it is kind of just the same old shit, isn't it? But James Wan, I believe his best work to this date is still Saw. And, well, I'll say Saw, like he wasn't like, well, he was Saw. He was the top man in Saw, I guess. I always forget. I was about to say that he didn't direct, he was just Adam. And I was like, fuck, that's the whole gimmick he was, isn't it? Anyway, though, him and Adam, no, he wasn't that. You stumbling on here. You know what I mean? Giving that 6 out of 10, for entertainment, rolling out.